Hello and welcome everyone to another Northgard video on this channel. Today with another patch note review, and actually the patch note review for the clan of the Kraken. That must be the clan that we have waited the longest now for, but that must have something to do with the coincidence that happened at the Shiro offices a few months ago. But I'm very happy to be able to present the patch notes right here, and yeah, Kraken clan is live right now. I already had the chance yesterday to play around with it a little bit, so I already have a little idea about what the clan is about and how you would play it out. And yeah, let's just jump right into the patch notes and see what they offer for us. There we are, right in the patch notes. If you want to check them out yourself, you can always find them in the lower right side of your screen when you open up the game. There will be a little link that will lead you right into the patch notes, and so you can read over them yourself if you want to. But since you're already here, you can of course also just keep on watching the video, since we're gonna go over all of these points, and I'm gonna try to sprinkle a few of my own experience with the Kraken clan in here and there. Yeah, let's just jump right into it and yeah, read the description of the clan of the Kraken right here. The clan of the Kraken knows firsthand how dangerous the sea can be. They worship the gigantic creature, fearing his brutal might, honoring his instinctual knowledge, and using its powers when it deigns bestow them. Oh, okay. Oh, he's learning new words right here. So the starting bonuses, it already hit you quite hard, with the no commercial victory, no port, no lighthouse. But you can build a fishery on lake tiles and beaches to assign fishermen. So no port basically means that you can't build docks with the clan of the Kraken, so you won't be able to go for those. You will only be going for merchants. That will be your only gold production right there. And yeah, you can go for fish basically at any beach tile that you can find. That can help you quite a bit to actually be going for fish. And I would actually also recommend to go for fish with the Kraken clan, but we're going to find out a little bit more about that later with the lore tree right there. Also, colonizing and building on non-coastal zones will cost you plus 50%. You can also negate that. We're also gonna go later into that. But you will also get a minus 30% military debuff on non-coastal zones. That can end up to be quite a problem with the Kraken clan, and in team games you will oftentimes just need to look out that you don't attack on a non-coastal tile. You will need to find a path where you can attack your enemies, where you always are on the beach side, maybe even completely switching your target right there, because the target you wanted to go for is just too much surrounded with non-coastal tiles that your Kraken clan player would not really work on. So I think this is one of the hardest debuffs to play around, I think actually in whole Northgard, because it just depends so hard on the outcome of the game and what your army will actually be able to be doing in those fights, because minus 30% are quite heavy, and getting the supply lines debuffs on top of there could be very, very, very dangerous for the Kraken clan right there. You can also build the Wyrd to assign Norns. I hope that I pronounced that right. If I didn't pronounce it right, you can just write down in the comments how you would pronounce that word right there. I'm just gonna go with Wyrd right here and hope that's not gonna be all too bad. You gotta keep in mind that only female Vikings can become Norns, and the Wyrd will basically replace your brewery right there, so you'll not be able to build any breweries. But your Norns will also be able to produce Wyrd right there. We're gonna go a little bit deeper into the Wyrd system later on, I'm fairly sure. And yeah, your Wyrd will be used to activate special abilities of the Kraken clan that can later on help you out to also colonize non-coastal zones, for example. The clan of the Kraken will also already start with 400 Wyrd, so theoretically you could go for these abilities already from the start of the game, but how useful that is we're gonna see later on when we go a little bit deeper into these Wyrd abilities. Now we know everything about the starting bonuses of the Kraken clan, and those already promise a quite unique clan with a quite unique playstyle, with all the buffs and impossibilities for the clan, but also possibilities that other clans can't go for. But we're gonna learn a little bit more about that when we jump into the fame bonuses. When you gain more fame, the clan of the Kraken will get the following exclusive rewards. At fame, so 200 fame, you will get a warning for events long before they happen. I'm not completely sure how long that actually is. I think it's a little bit different for every event, but you will always know a few months before the other players what event will happen, and in team games that can be really helpful since you can already warn out your teammates right there. Also, you will get 400 Wyrd on top of that you can use to use your clan specific abilities right there. At 500 fame you will get access to a quite interesting ability that is called Howl from the Sea Master. So whenever you kill military units on enemy or neutral zones, they have a 10% chance to become spectral warriors under your control. You have a maximum of 5 on that. The spectral warriors will come with full life into your army. They will have just the stats how you would know them from spectral warriors, and can really help you out to get pressure on your opponents. Not only to tank tower fire, but also to just get this happiness debuff out that can really hurt your opponent while trying to repop at that point. So I think that's a really interesting ability right there. Should be a lot of fun to go for this, even though it's always quite hard to reach the 500 fame. But if you're able to this, I think you have quite a powerhouse with the Kraken clan right there. But not only those will help the Kraken clan to get the military upper hand, but also his valkyres. But we're gonna jump in those right now. The Norns and valkyres. Clan of the Kraken introduces its exclusive units. Somebody laughed when he wrote that. The Nords try to elucidate the will of the Kraken, bringing foresight and good fortune to the clan. They produce happiness and Wyrd. And later on with the lore, you can actually make them also produce fame, but I'm gonna get later into it. The Norns and Valkyres. The Clan of the Kraken introduces its exclusive units. Somebody laughed when he wrote that. The Norns try to elucidate the will of the Kraken, bringing foresight and good fortune to the clan. They produce happiness and Wyrd. Yeah, that will be quite helpful for you. The Wyrd production is not super insane. Like, it is there, but you will get like, I don't know, fuck my life. The Norns and Valkyres. The Clan of the Kraken introduces its exclusive units. The Norns try to elucidate the will of the Kraken, bringing foresight and good fortune to the clan. They will produce happiness and Wyrd. Well, I gotta say that the Wyrd production is not too crazy. I think, like, just a wild guess from me would say that every Norn will give you +2 Wyrd production. That's a completely random number right now that I put out. I don't know how much it will go up if you upgrade it. But just to give you an idea of how high the Wyrd production will actually be, you will not be thrown around the abilities all the time, but you will accumulate enough Wyrd to actually be able to use them regularly. So Norn's definitely quite interesting unit there for the Kraken clan. The wielding divine power, the Valkyries are the most powerful members of the Kraken clan's army. Your army can only control one at a time. So you will need to pay 600 Wyrd to actually convert a Norn into a Valkyre, but this will be a unit that has roughly the HP of a War Chief. I'm not 100% sure if it's just the same, but it will have 18 resistance, one of the highest resistance counts that you will have in Northgard. Like a giant basically has 18 resistance, just to give you an idea of how much this actually is. And yeah, this is basically a super tanky unit, not as much damage, I think just as much damage as a warrior with 10 attack points. But yet, just the tankiness of the Valkyre makes them a really strong unit to easily tank a lot of X-thrower damage or tower damage. And yeah, just a very versatile unit right there that I really like a lot. Since we know now what the women of the clan will be doing, let's check out what the men will be doing. And that will be most likely fishing. The fishery is an exclusive food generating building for the Clan of the Kraken. This building can be built on shores and beaches. You can assign 2 villagers to this building and transform them into fishermen, so 3 villagers if upgraded. It's basically a fisherman's hut, but you can also build it on your beaches right there, what I also would recommend. So I usually build a fishery on my main tile, and if I have the chance to it, also on a second shore that would be given to me. If there is no second shore and you will have no fish around you, I'm not 100% sure what you will be doing with the Clan of the Kraken, because I really like to go into the fishes because of the lore tree. But there must be sometimes actually also builds where you need to go for another food source. But if you have at least one fish and a shore, or actually 2 shores, you will be good to go and can go with 2 fishermen's hut right there. That should get you quite good through the game, at least on medium difficulty. I don't know if on higher difficulty you will be actually maybe going for a 3rd one. Not completely sure with that. Now let's see about the Höger right here. The Höger is the 2nd exclusive building for the Clan of the Kraken. You can assign only female villagers to this building and transform them into Norns that we read before about. You can assign 2 of them to this building and 3 if upgraded. So basically just as a normal building right there, not too much special things there. While if you upgrade the Höger, it will cost you a little bit less. I think it were only 60 wood that I needed to pay for an upgrade for that. But yeah, you also need to don't pay gold for the upgrade there, but I think is also quite important to know. The upgrade for the Höger is a little bit less expensive than you would have for other buildings, and usually I ended up having 2 of those in a game, also to upgrade ones. You will need those most likely for your Wyrd production, or of course also for the happiness. So I really think having this upgrade a little bit cheaper helps out quite a bit for the Clan of the Kraken, and I really like that. Now let's jump into the Wyrd and the Wyrd abilities that you will be given with it. Let's find out a little bit more about Wyrd and the abilities that you can actually cast with it, because Wyrd is the Kraken clan's exclusive resource. It can be spent to activate special abilities. The Kraken clan starts the game with 400 Wyrd and a passive production of +1. And right here we can see the Wyrd window that you will be seeing oftentimes in game. And the different effects you can go for. You can basically just click on it, and if it's an effect that needs to be triggered, you can also then click for the next one right here. For example, if you want the Road to Valhalla, you click the Road to Valhalla, and then you click on a Norn that you want to transform into a valkyre right there. But now let's just read over those right here. At first we're gonna go over the Shadow Waters effect that costs you 100 Wyrd, and it will improve a coastal zone to accept 1 additional building. It can be cumulative with the usual zone improvement, so you will basically be developing another zone with the Shallow Waters effect for 100 Wyrd, and you can even afterwards still develop that area. So for example, on your main tile you should now be able to get up to 7 buildings down with those effects combined. It really depends if you want to actually develop an area right there, but you would be possible to do that. And this effect really counts for every coastal zone and not only shore zones. It will be quite easy to see, since when you click on the effect, all the zone that you can possibly shallow water will light up blue. It's a little bit sad that you cannot shallow water a tile that are really high tided, but we're gonna go into that right now. Because with high tide that will cost you 300 Wyrd. So you can only cast high tide on a non-coastal zone adjacent to a non-coastal zone or zones affected by high tide. So you can really chain this together and get coastal zones until really deep into the map right there. That can help you quite a bit, because this will also cancel out the Kraken's building and attack penalties on this zone. You will yet not be able to cast shallow water in it, like I said before. That would be really nice to get an additional building down on there. But already cancelling those effects out could really help the Kraken clan to get the fight a little bit more into the middle of the map and have no attack penalty. That should be really hurtful if you actually fight an enemy with the penalty right there. You can also colonize this zone at a normal cost, so it will not cost anything more for you. It will basically just be a coastal zone in all meanings, just that you cannot cast shallow waters on it. For all other things, basically you can keep in your mind that this will be a coastal zone right then for you. But it's a quite interesting effect and will be used quite often for the Kraken clan, how I imagine. The next one would be the Road to Valhalla, what will cost you 600 Wyrd. That will basically let you turn a Norn into a valkyre. There's not much more to it, to be honest. It's basically just you click the effect, afterwards you can click onto a Norn right there, and she will, yeah, you can see that right here in the little graphic, transform into a valkyre that can help you right there. The valkyre, just for noting that down, will not eat any food, will basically behave like a war chief right there for you. Will use a little bit of wood for your clan, but it will not eat food. so you don't need to think all too hard about it when you want to get her. She will cost you a little bit, but not all too much, and the defensive strength you will get with this valkyre should oftentimes just easily be worth it. Just keep in mind that clearing out the bear with a valkyre, I don't actually know if it's possible, if the valk would win in the end, but it will take a lot of time, and I would definitely recommend to always have a warrior right next to her or something that actually makes damage. With that, let's jump into the last effect. That will be the Ancient Spirits right there. They cost 1000 words, so will be your most expensive effect right there. But you will summon 5 hostile spectral warriors to a target enemy's coastal zone. Those spectral warriors will not do a lot of damage to your opponent because they are yet spectral warriors, but it's yet a quite strong raid because you will pull the happiness of your opponent quite a bit down, and if your opponent is just attacking you and you can just use it as a defensive tool, this is really helpful, and I think just as helpful as the Raven raids right there, if not maybe a little bit more helpful, because I would actually say that the Spectral Warrior raid I would like a little bit less than an actual normal Raven raid right there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I really don't like to have the happiness pulled down, and if I get raided by one of those, I will usually send a little bit of army back to deal with it, because it's just really hard to deal with it with normal villagers, and yeah, it really stacks up in the end to have so much resistance against you and so much life points then in the end to actually bring them down. There's no cooldown on it, so you can just raid different shores at the same time and therefore really annoy your opponent, but you will need a lot of work for that, and it shouldn't be that easy to get this amount together. But if you have chance to get the 1000 word together for this Ancient Spirit raid, I would really recommend trying it out because it seems to be quite strong. With that, let's go into the lore tree right here, where we will learn quite a bit more about the Kraken clan. The clan of the Kraken has 5 exclusive lores. The first one of those will be Near of the Sea Spirit. That will be replacing trading right there. It generates +1 gold for every 3 buildings on coastal zones, and it enables you to get trade routes with trading posts. So basically doing the same thing as trading right there, but the potential gold income that you can get out of Near of the Sea Spirit is way higher, and I think it could actually be a little bit too strong in the long run. I'm not too sure, because you can get quite a bit of buildings onto your coastal zones right there, combined with your abilities from the Kraken clan that you have right there to build more buildings on there. And yeah, I don't know, just right now it seems really strong, and it will help you quite a bit right there. The second one will be Endless Tide. That will be replacing Weaponsmith. It reduces the cost of your military units by 20%, what is very interesting. Each military camp gets +1. So I think this should actually go a little bit against the military debuff you will have on non-coastal zones. And it will give +20% attack to military units, basically the same thing as Weaponsmith. So because you will basically just get those 2 points in addition to the normal Weaponsmith effect that you have as the third point right there. And it should help you quite a bit actually to get a good army up. Like a military unit cost reduction of 20% should maybe also make shield bearers or axe throwers quite interesting for the clan of the Kraken, because the cost of them should be only that much lower and helps you to get more numbers up, right? So you'll definitely be ready for that you might have your army out a lot longer time than you have actually planned, because you can just not engage the fight on the non-coastal zone right there and look for a fight on a coastal zone. That could be a little bit weird. I think they wanted to help the army there a little bit, so a Kraken player can at least get more numbers than another clan right there with the reduced cost there for the army. But I think that the debuff is actually still way stronger than that, and if you go for a fight on a non-coastal zone, I think you're just destined to lose with the clan of the Kraken, so really don't do that. The third lore we will be looking into will however be Knowledge from Beyond. That will be replacing shipbuilding right there. Also, without docks you won't need shipbuilding, right? So it will reveal all neutral factions, what I think is really cool. I really like that, to be honest. The trade routes with neutral factions will earn you 20% more. Also quite helpful on top of that. And all trade routes give you +3 lore, what I think is really interesting. I played a lot around with this lore yesterday and had a lot of fun with it. Just the lore income you can get out of trading with neutrals or your teammates can just be insane. I even were able to get the giants here and there, even though that I don't think that you will able to get those in a really aggressive game. but for a longer game that might actually be a way to go for the Kraken clan right there, just because of the extra gold you will get out of trading with the neutrals right there, and also because your food economy shouldn't actually be that bad because of the next lure we're gonna be looking in. That will be fresh fish. Fresh fish will be the last lure on your upper tree, so the clan specific lure that is usually not that easy to get if you don't want to go into the upper tree. Your fishermen will be improved by 20%, and their tool improvements are free, and their forging time is reduced by 2, so it will be basically double as fast, so it's a really fast upgrade right there. Having that for free is always quite helpful, and just the fisherman bonus production will really help you out a lot if you're really committed to those fishers right there. And it shouldn't be too much of a problem with having all your shores basically being fish tiles. So I really like the combination out of fresh fish and knowledge from beyond. I didn't like it as much to go for fresh fish before the knowledge from beyond, so I would definitely recommend to have the trade going before you actually go for the fresh fish, but there may actually be a way where going for the fresh fish could be a little bit stronger. I may just not have found it right now. With that, let's jump into the last lure right there. That will be the last lure on the lower tree, so the trading tree right there, and it's called Foresight. All your Norns will generate plus 20% more happiness and plus 50% more Wyrd. So in the end, your decision will mostly be, do you want to go from knowledge from beyond into Foresight, taking carpentry mastery with you, or will you go into the fresh fish and try to get a little bit out of the mining efficiency out of that? While I can tell you there already that you're not gonna hit as much stone and iron as you would like with the mining efficiency, but it's yet a little bit, and you will hit the fresh fish definitely a lot earlier than somebody that will be going for Foresight, even though that you have quite a bit of lore with the Kraken. The lores for the Kraken clan for me really interesting, make the clan quite unique, and I think there are quite a few playstyles in there that I definitely want to play out. And yeah, let's see how the Kraken clan fits into the new meta right here. So now let's have a little look at the Kraken clan's relic right here, the Adder of 4. The Kraken clan has its own relic, the Adder of Wyrd, okay. Given by Wyrd, wise and curious, so that no one can hide anything from her. This relic allows your Norns to earn fame right here. Okay, it weren't actually a lore, it were the relic that can let your Norns produce fame right there. Basically like skulls would do for you. And when the relic is built, it gives you 1000 Wyrd, so basically a free raid for you, a free ghost raid, how I like to call it. Quite a cool relic right there, I think more for the Wyrd than actually for having Norns to earn fame, because I don't really see the Kraken clan winning fame too much. But that might only be me being a little bit blind about that. There might actually be a good way for the Kraken clan to make that happen. Also, the Valkyre's weapon upgrade is quite an interesting one, what we can see right here. It will give your Valkyre's weapon plus 10% attack, what is not that exciting, but after forging the Valkyre's weapon they gain the Purify ability and can sacrifice themselves to instantly colonize a neutral zone or an enemy zone, being uncolonized. So you can just instantly take away a tile from an enemy, but the problem is that you will actually need to border at this tile. So your territory actually needs to border the enemy tile, but if you can make that happen, you can just take an enemy tile just by a click right there. If you have enough Wyrd, you can actually just get a Valkyrie right back to the tile and maybe even go on. We already tested it out, it doesn't work on main tiles, so you cannot win a game just like instantly, but if you can manage it to already colonize until your opponent's zone, I think you can do a lot of damage with this effect right here, and it seems to be quite interesting. I would be very stoked to see this play out and how you can really make this work. I just see that you can't not go on just like this. The effect, the Purify effect actually has a 1-year cooldown I didn't know about. But yeah, you can basically at least get your Valkyrie back right away. There's also been a new event added into Northgard, what is quite a cool one, to be honest. The new event is called the Attack of the Kraken. The Kraken itself roams around Northgard and punishes those who do not fear it. The Kraken attack lasts for 3 months. This is quite a long time, to be honest. Sinking boats and damaging ports. No one can survive the attack of the Kraken. The event is not linked to the presence of the Clan of the Kraken, so the event can come at any time. And this is really a horrifying event, because it's kind of random. It's like, I don't think you have like a 100% chance to lose all your ships right there. But if you have all your ships out, I think you have a 100% chance of losing them all over the 3 months. I think the Kraken will roam around and get one ship after another. So if most players actually left their ships at home and your ships are the only ones out, I think the chance that they will be they will definitely be killed. So if this event happens, you should really have your sailors at home and not let them roam around with the boat there anymore. I think you could actually get lucky if there are a lot of players on the map that let their boats out, but I think you shouldn't play onto that card and rather have your boats at home. The graphic is actually quite cool when the Kraken grabs a boat. Maybe therefore you should try it out at least once, but after that I would definitely recommend to keep your sailors at home for this event. Since we got all the new stuff out of the way, let's jump into the general changes, what also got quite a few interesting things in there for us. And the first thing will actually be really interesting, because we have actually now stats in Northgard. Statistics. We've added various statistics to the end of the game screen via a new statistic button. They will show production, usage, and changes over the time for many resources, all of them I think actually, and population and military units. And more actually. Like, I would like to actually have a few things added in there that would be really cool to have, but all the stats that are already shown in there are very nice. You will see them like in most strategy games with a graph right there, but really nice to see. You can also blend out other players. I think the best way to actually check it out is by yourself at the end of a game. There's really a lot to learn about the statistics, and you can maybe even see what your opponent did or what his strategy goals were right there, what you maybe have done wrong in this game. Also, there were a new stolen lore added for the Clan of the Snake that will be the knowledge from beyond, what I think is a fairly strong lore. Gotta be seen how it fits into the Snake Clan. I can't really imagine it right now, but it is an interesting lore to put into that tree, definitely. Also, there were a few new achievements implemented into the game. The Day of the Tentacle, I think that's a quite funny name, of course. Win with the Clan of the Kraken, not in story mode. Yeah, made it happen. The Kraken Master, of course, getting the 50 wins with the Kraken Clan. Victorious Squid, witness a boat sunk by the mighty Kraken. That will definitely happen to a lot of players, I imagine, at least at the start when the event is quite new. Should be quite easy to get this one then. The next one will be Fresh Sea Air. Win a game without colonizing any non-coastal zone. I definitely didn't do this now. Seems to be a quite interesting achievement to go for, and like really cool achievement, to be honest. Like, you will actually need to play a special game right there and really watch out for the achievement that you don't go for something else. That seems interesting though. The last one will be the Pride of the Kraken, to build the Kraken clans specific relic right there, how we have them for other clans. So in general, I think quite cool achievements added right there, and yeah, we'll be seeing if we can go for those. With that, we're gonna jump into the balancing and bug fixes right here. The warrior bonus versus shield bearers has been decreased from 15% to 10%, so warriors will be a little bit worse against shield bearers now. What is a quite notable debuff right there, because I think that Bear Clan shield bearers already won against warriors when they were in the right fighting situation. I'm not 100% sure again, but I think about this fact a lot of players will be not 100% sure, but the shield bearers were already quite strong, now will be a little bit more stronger, maybe getting a little bit more of a thing now also for other clans, and maybe even the Clan of the Kraken because of its reduced army price right there. The Deer Hunter achievement is fixed. I heard about that being broken for a little longer time right now, so nice that it's been fixed now. The bear hibernation doesn't heal sick people anymore. That's really good. All the bear players go, oh, but yeah, that's actually cool, and we're a little bit broken that they were actually possible. I didn't know about that before. The giant boar has a trigger warning when on colonizing. Oh, this is very important. This were, yeah, quite crazy when you just had the giant boar attacking your tiles and you didn't even get a trigger warning right there. It's cool that it's now implemented into the game. The lore production of the sailors has been decreased by 20%, and this is an interesting change right there, because sailors were already not as strong as merchants in the late game, and now they will even have a little bit less counting for them with a less lore production. Like, it doesn't even matter all too much for the early game, how I felt with the Raven clan that I have played right now. The lore at the start of the game will yet be enough to go for your lores right there. Usually you will then just need to have a lore master a little bit earlier at the lore stone, and then you will be just fine. But in the long run, in the later stages of the game, you will definitely have notable less lore right there. That makes the sailors a little bit worse, and maybe the merchants even more of an interesting choice there for other clans. So let's see. Also, all maps will now always have at least one neutral faction, what is quite helpful, because if you actually had a map without neutral factions, there were a few clans that will have a lot of problems with that, and now with the addition of the Kraken clan and the knowledge from beyond, it should hurt the Kraken like quite a bit if there would be no neutrals on the map. So let's say quite a cool change right there. I always also like to have neutrals on the map, and having no neutrals on the map always feels a little bit weird. So cool change there. And at last change we have right here is the Fallen Sailors event can now appear in every game, not only in Ragnarok. I already had this happening to me once or twice in a normal game then right there on a normal Northgard map. I think that is quite a cool change, because it is a quite cool event right there. I like the Fallen Sailors event. It can be quite hurtful, you will get quite a few low villagers right there, but it's yet an event that is quite different, and yeah, just having more events in general is quite interesting. So the least you know what will be actually coming at the end of the winter or after the winter or whenever, the more exciting it will actually get to play around it. So really cool change, I think. And with that, we are actually through the patch notes right here. We have done it. We hope that you will enjoy playing the Clan of the Kraken. We still have a lot of awesome content coming near in the future, and we can't wait to share more with you. Release the Kraken! And that's what I'm also gonna say right now. Release the Kraken! So I hope that you enjoyed this video right here. Of course, I hope that you will be enjoying the Kraken clan in the future. I'm definitely looking forward to play a little bit more Kraken in the next time. I had definitely a lot of fun on my yesterday's stream there. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, maybe consider to leave a little like right here. I'm not gonna drag it out all too long here anymore. Bye bye everyone, have a great day, and maybe see you back in the next video. Bye bye!